Welcome to Lesson 2, where we're going to look at the median and the mode of a data set. We're going to be discovering that the median is the exact middle of the data, and the mode is the value that occurs most frequently. Mode, most. There can also be more than one mode, and sometimes there is no mode. So if you take a look at this picture with the cylinders with water, and you ask, what is the median? What is the middle? Some people might say, the middle, it's this one, 56. 56 is not the median. Before you find the middle value, you have to put them in order from least to greatest. So if you take a look at this, which one has got the least? 8. So we start with 8. Then we look to see which is next, which is 16, then 32, then 56, and then 64. So now we've got our numbers in order: 8, 16, 32, 56, 64. This is a relatively small set to make it an easy example, so most of you can see right away what's in the middle. But let's practice what we would do in case we had a larger set of numbers. Most people like to cross out one from each end until they get to the middle. So for example, we cross out the 8 and the 64, we cross out the 16 and the 56, and that leaves us with our middle number, 32. 32 is the median of this data set. Now let's look at another example. The data set shows the lengths of the table that one company produces: 85 centimeters, 92 centimeters, 108 centimeters, 210 centimeters, 264 centimeters, 200 centimeters, 135 centimeters, and 78 centimeters. What is the median length? Well, unfortunately for us, the numbers are not in order, so we're going to have to put them in order. It's not a hard task, just kind of tedious. Where students make mistakes is they often forget a number. They leave one out when they're making their list. It's something I've done myself. To help you with not leaving out a number, I'm going to show you one way to do it. Let's look at the list. What is the lowest number? The lowest number is 78. So I put 78 in the list and I cross it out or underline it to show that I've done that one. Then I look at the numbers that are left. The next one is 85. So I cross out 85 and put it in the list. Then the next number is 92. The next number after that, 108. Now the ones that are left, 135 would come next, then 200, then 210, then 264. Now I've got my numbers in order. Crossing them out or underlining them is a way to make sure that you get all of them and you don't leave one out. Another thing to check to make sure is to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There were 8 in the original list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 in my list, so I'm good. Now it's not as easy where the middle is in this list, so let's start crossing them out. Cross out one in the front, one in the back. Cross out one in the front, one in the back, one in the front, one in the back. I have 2 numbers left. If I cross them both out, I have nothing left. What am I going to do now that I've got 2 numbers left? Well, when you have an even number in your data set, you're going to have 2 numbers in the middle. And since we have 2 numbers, we need to find the mean of those 2 numbers. So 108 plus 135 equals 243. Divide that by 2, we get 121.5. So our median is 121.5. Sometimes the median is not actually in our data set, but it is still the middle value from all of the numbers. Now let's take a look at finding the median when we are given a dot plot. The dot plot shows the weights of a group of immature white-tailed deer fawn. Each dot represents one fawn. So if we look at this, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fawns. The median weight of the fawns is how many pounds? Well, again, because this is a relatively small data set, a lot of you can just see, well, this is the middle. There's 3 on the right and 3 on the left, and that's the middle. So the median is 100. If you couldn't see it, you could do the same procedure that we did before. You could cross out 1 from each end until you got to the middle, which is 100. So you could cross through the dots just the same way that we had crossed through the numbers. It says a new fawn joins the group. It weighs 101 pounds. Add a dot to a copy of the dot plot above to show this information. And there is our added dot. You can tell it's added because it's a little bit different color. Does this change the median of the data set? What do you think? Yes, it does. Now we have 8 deer, so I don't have one middle number. If I crossed out 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, my middle is right here, where I've got 4 on the left and 4 on the right. So my median is right here in the middle of 100 and 101. So I could find the average. I could add 100 and 101, which is 201, divide by 2, and my median is 100.5. Now some of you are saying, well, that was a lot of work. I knew what was in the middle of 100 and 101. Yep, you probably did. If you already know what's in the middle, you don't have to add them together and divide by 2. Just use your number sense. If you're not sure, then add the 2 numbers and divide by 2. Okay, to find the mode, sometimes it's easiest to put the numbers in order so you can see how many you have of each one. These data sets, luckily for us, are already in order. So if we look at the first data set, 10, 12, 12, 14, 16, 16, 16, 17, 17, and 20, I think it's pretty obvious to most people that the mode is 16. Because we have 3 16s, that's what we have the most of. If you take a look at the next data set, these grades, 80, 85, 85, 90, 90, 90, 95, 95, and 95, there's actually 2 modes for this data set. The modes are 90 and 95 because there's 3 of each of those. If we look at this last data set, 77, 80, 81, 84, 88, 90, 97, and 1000, there is no mode because each value is only there once. So when you're working with the mode, whatever occurs the most, mode is the most, you can have more than one mode, and sometimes there is no mode. So I hope you're good with finding the median and the mode. Now it's time for you to do some independent practice.